let's get into the debate, and this is the big one, right? The big question that we have here is this: Can you root for more than one team? Can you root for more than one team? And the question here is, well, Eric, I'm going to let you go with it because you're the one that brought this to me, and I don't want to misrepresent in any way. So
Yeah,
please explain what we mean by this.
I
Can you
take the
root for
wheel.
more than one team?
I take the wheel. All right, so especially in Detroit, there is a big because there was another preseason game that I caught and watched a lot of. It was the Steelers and the Jaguars. Awesome game, and there is a huge Steelers fan base in Detroit. There are a lot of different teams that people are fans of in Detroit. Period. I've seen a lot of Packers fans, Ravens fans, Steelers. I just brought up. There's a lot of got people who, and again, they're not just claiming that one team. They claim them and the Lions, which people treat as if it's just okay. And I hate that. It's not okay to have more than one team. You don't do that. You don't get to play with two teams when you're playing video games. You can't say, oh, I got this backup team that I'm going to ride with just in case they go. No, you don't get that. I don't see that done in college very often, and I hate it when it comes to the NFL. Pick a team and ride with them, especially, listen, as Lions fans, and even other than like struggling teams like Browns fans, whoever else, they're easily able to support and ride with them team because you want to be loyal to the soil. But you don't get two teams. Rams fans, no, you get one team. That's it. I hate this notion that you can have more than one just because. No, you don't get that. Pick a team, ride with them.
So you're saying like I can't have a team that I like, even though if the two teams play, I'm still rooting for the Lions.
No,
I
you
disagree,
can
man.
you
I
can
think you're
like
wrong.
that. Okay,
I
so
think
let me
you're wrong. Listen, hold on, hold on,
go ahead.
hold on. What is wrong with me saying I like or my team is the Detroit Lions, right?
Right,
You're loyal to the soil, as you just said. First time I've ever heard that, and I'm going to steal it from now on.
right.
You're loyal to the soil, right? That is my team. I lived in Dallas, Texas for a long time and had to put up with those doggone Cowboys fans. And I
Ugh,
would show up to the Sunday games wearing my Lions gear.
gross.
If especially the week after we got screwed in 2014 when it happened then to them on the Des Bryant catch, I was at somebody's house wearing my Lions gear that day because I was
Yeah,
like,
they
"Well,
deserve that.
this is a team that should be
That's
playing anyway,
that's the best NFL
regardless."
karma ever. Yes.
It is, but anyway, that's for another day.
Fine.
I don't see anything wrong with me being like, "You know what? I am a Detroit Lions fan, but there's this AFC team who's not in my league that I'm also a fan of, that I
Mm-mm,
like to watch, that I
mm-mm.
like to see play because maybe I like their quarterback." Like for a long time, for me, it was the Colts. They were like my second team because of Peyton Manning. I also went to school in Indiana for a year, so that also helped. So I was like, I would watch the Colts, and I mean, the Lions were out of the playoffs at that time, so I could at least experience playoffs through the Colts, right? I don't see anything wrong with that. It's the same thing in baseball, man. Like I got an American League team and I got a National League team.
So okay, so were you when you were a Colts fan at this time of your
I
life?
was a Peyton Manning fan. He just
But
happened to play for the Colts.
that's okay though. That
Okay,
I'm fine
now
with. Being a
okay,
fan of a player because of a team, that's fine. But oh, I got this Rams jersey. I got a Steelers jersey. I'm a Raiders fan on
well,
every other week.
I do have a
No,
Colts jersey.
no.
I do have a Colts
Oh,
jersey.
the Peyton Manning jersey?
Marvin Harrison.
Woo.
No, I'm just
I
kidding. I'm
mean,
just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's a Peyton Manning
dang,
jersey.
that's
It is a
tough.
Peyton Manning jersey. But like, I,
Oh,
I
that
even
was
I
tough.
wore it on our on DSN's draft special because it was the only. It's like the only jersey that I own. I own no Lions gear. I own one long sleeve T-shirt that says Lions on it.
Oh, you don't have the all gray, the color rush, man? What do you mean? Come on.
I'm not a jersey guy. The fact that I don't have a hat on right now is like stressing me out to a certain extent just because I am a hat guy. I'm not a jersey guy.
Well,
So like no, I'm not going to I
that
don't like the way jerseys fit. I don't like the way jerseys look. They don't look good on me, so I'm just going to stick to my t-shirt and jeans. I'm cool
That
with
ma
that.
that makes a lot of sense. The one guy you're willing to compromise that for is the least swaggiest guy in NFL history, and so for you to claim that with Peyton Manning makes a ton of sense for you, so
I
I don't
mean,
even care.
thank you again, 100% on brand, right?
It
Like,
is, yes, you're at least being consistent, so I can rock with that, that's
okay,
fine.
all right. Consistency is the key to life, Eric. That's
Yes,
what you need to know is that
yes,
consistency is the key to life. And I get it, right? Like Peyton is a huge dork, but here's the reason why. I played football at Taylor University, very small school, an
okay,
hour outside of Indianapolis. Jim Caldwell, old friend alert, was the quarterbacks coach at that time for
right,
Indianapolis, and he
mhm.
came and spoke at one of our team meetings.
Ooh.
And so we were able to drill him and talk to him. Yeah, I know, right?
How
Not
boring was
charisma.
the tell me how boring that speech was, don't lie either.
It was honestly the most fascinating thing that I had been a part of at that point in time.
That's crazy.
But
That's
here's why,
wild.
right? You have a guy that you're like, you spend every day with arguably the second best quarterback in the NFL.
Mhm.
What's that like? And I'm a quarterback. How is he as good as he is? And he just broke it down and told us everything. And like that's when I was like, I'm not necessarily a fan of athletes. I'm a fan of excellence in a lot
Mm,
of ways. That's why like
okay,
Tiger Woods is my favorite athlete of all time because he's just
good
dominant,
call.
right?
Mhm,
Huge Kobe fan, huge Peyton Manning fan. But
okay.
what do they all have in common? They're all prepared. They all study. They're all students. Like so learning that and knowing that about Peyton just instantly made me like a fan of his.
I'm okay
And so
with
that
that. I'm okay with that. Like I said, you're co-signing on Peyton. You're not saying, "Oh, I like him." Andrew James gave me this, and Bob Sanders. Like you just, it's strictly
no.
Peyton Manning, and he's an all-time icon. So I'm okay with that. But like you, I don't want to hear nothing about people cheering for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, and also being a Lions fan on the
No,
weekend. Like I don't want to
that's
hear that.
inappropriate. That's
Yes,
an in
that's a whole
division,
violation.
no.
Yes,
But I don't
especially
see
in
any
division.
problem with somebody being like, I'm a fan of the Lions, but I'm also a fan of this team in the AFC. It's
I look.
different if you play that team consistently on a year-to-year basis, but, like, again, I use the baseball analogy. I grew up a Detroit Tigers fan, but also in the very formative years, I came home every day and watched Harry Carey and Steve Stone call Cubs games. So
Okay.
the Cubs became my second team.
Okay.
They're still my second team, and I root for them, and I cheer for them, and it's a very big day when they you know what I'm saying? So I don't see any problem with that carrying over into other sports. What's the problem if I'm a Chargers fan and I'm also a Lions fan?
Because to me, again, I'm a snob with this. It to me, it dilutes your fandom, especially if it's like not even like, oh, like I become fans of players because of who my fantasy team is. Like if I draft
Sure.
Russell Wilson, I'm probably gonna
Be a
halfway root
Broncos
for the
fan.
Broncos
Yeah.
just so I can get my feet off. But strictly just off the strength of, oh, I like them just because, oh, their jersey spoke to me when I was like, that's garbage. I don't want to hear that. You need like it dilutes the what you're doing as a fan. The ability of being a fan and supporting a team is to be able to support and ride for that one team. You ride with agendas for 3, 4, 5 different teams in the league like that. I don't respect that at all. I look down on that for fandom.
Hold
I'm
on, I didn't
sorry.
say 4 or 5 different teams. Now you're putting words in my mouth. I
I mean, yeah,
said
I'm not saying you, but
1
others who
team
do,
or
right? But even, I mean, even that's too much for me. Like, I no, man. Again, that's all a part of the price of liking sports. It's riding with your team. If you're not gonna be like, go be full time somewhere else. But I don't like the jostling in between two. I can't rock with that.
okay. So then if that's the case, the Lions pick up and they move to a different city. Are you a fan of that team then?
Is there a new team in Detroit?
No.
Then I'm gonna go with the Lions. Where they at?
You're gonna stick with that franchise regardless of where they go.
I have to. I did it with the Detroit Shock when they moved. And I didn't roll it off with them. You gotta
Okay.
be. Yes. I'm loyal. I'm
Can fans switch loyalties?
Yes, I'm fine if you switch. If you want
Okay.
to leave and go somewhere else, go ahead. But you cannot claim to, and then like again, like they get to the Super Bowl, like, oh, I hate that I've seen that with people. I was riding all the way with. No, you weren't. You got 2, 3 other teams. You're not loyal. I don't want to hear. We don't want you over here. Ride with your team. Pick one and ride with one. I don't rock with that, bro. I don't like the. Mm-mm. That's a huge fan law.
I think Joseph has got it right here.
Think I was
And
born a
right,
Lions
this is
fan. Yeah.
but I think
It's
that
like that,
is
Joe.
yeah, that's the way that it works, right? You're kind of born loyal. Hopefully, I mean, maybe that working in education over the last few years, I've kind of seen how the flashy highlight players are the teams that the kids are gravitating to nowadays. And I know I sound like this old crotchety old man, right? But you talk to anybody in the school nowadays, you're like, hey, who's your favorite team? They're like, oh, the Golden State Warriors. Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Mhm.
Like, no loyalty at all. So, like,
Yeah.
I appreciate Joseph's comment here.
Did you see Max? I think Max got a good one too. But like to me, that's just
This right here
especially those type of fans. Yeah, Eric say that you can only
only
love
have.
one. Max, you going off of me today, man. Come on.
I
So you
love it.
say you
I
can
love
only
it.
love
We're
one or
gonna
two.
print Eric
No.
versus Maximilian T-shirts. This is gonna be like the
Yeah,
rivalry
Max,
of the century.
we gotta
But it's all
talk,
your
Max.
fault. It's actually all your fault because you went right straight for the jugular with Maximilian on his first comment today. You're like, "S- come on,
We've got Mason Rudolph backing to start our show. I can't
Max.
let
I got
that
your back,
ride.
man.
I love
I
you,
got
Max, but come on, man. I can't do that. No, not for Mason Rudolph, man.
oh Jeff.
Listen, week 5 or 6,
You want to talk
things
about
start to get
loyalty? This is interesting.
a side chick NFL team. No, you
Look,
can't have
it's
a side piece, bro. No, no side
I
pieces
don't
in
know.
NFL.
Like, okay, so you then hold on. So we're gonna keep going in this discussion because there's so many layers to it. You had a problem then last year with someone like myself who was in favor and supporting Matthew Stafford to win a Super Bowl.
Okay, now I'm gonna be a hypocrite. That's different. I'm a hypocrite because we
Did you
have the
get a
times.
Stafford Rams jersey?
No.
Okay,
And you
okay,
know what?
okay.
I saw so much of that at Ford Field. There were
Right,
so
for
many
sure,
Rams
for sure.
Stafford jerseys at the
The
Ford
Detroit
Field.
Rams t-shirts, those were hilarious.
Those were nasty. Those were whoever still got one of those. I gotta talk to y'all. I gotta talk to y'all about those shirts. Those boys went crazy. No. But
Look,
yeah, so I was feeling for Stafford in the Super Bowl. I can't
okay,
lie.
right. And you were also rooting for Stafford before he got to the Super Bowl,
Yeah, because he's
which
one of
by
our old
default
ones.
means that you're rooting for the Rams.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I wouldn't call myself a Rams fan in that moment. I was just
I didn't use
supporting
those words. You just used those words, but you were rooting for them to win. The definition of the question is, can you root for more than one team?
in a game. Okay, the only time you can do that is when your team is not included. So
For
we have a lot
sure.
of opportunity in the playoffs to root for teams not named the Lions. So I had the ability to root for Stafford in that moment because we ain't been in there for a while. We ain't winning nothing. So I don't want to
I
sound like
rooted
a
for Stafford
hypocrite.
when the Lions played them.
You did what?
I rooted for Stafford when the Lions played them.
Did you really? Oh, see, now that's foul too. No,
But think about it. If we're talking about loyalty, I want my team to be good for a long time. We needed to lose as many games as
for
possible.
the draft pick's sake, fine. That's fine. Okay,
Like,
I can live with that.
there's some method to the madness, right? Like, I feel like when we talk about rooting for our guy, like, if anybody deserved a Super Bowl after what they had been through, it was Matthew Stafford.
Of course.
The same thing is true again, going back to baseball, when Justin Verlander went to the Astros.
Oh
I
yeah,
was an Astros fan for the rest of that season because I wanted to see them win a World Series.
that's cool.
There's nothing, I don't see anything. Yes, this has to go on the screen.
Would you?
Joseph, we're best friends.
Oh,
Like,
100%. Yeah, see,
this
Joe
this is
coming
the
in with the
only
heat.
correct answer, right? Like, if you're
I'm with
going to
that.
have a second team, that second team is anybody who's playing Dallas.
You won't hear me argue with that at all because there was
Never.
never be a moment you'll see me rooting for the Dallas
America's
Cowboys
team, who's force
ever.
fed to us every Sunday in the primetime
Garbage
spot. That drives me nuts. Anyway, but
never fails.
I don't know. I just, man, Eric, I get the loyalty thing. I tend to be a very loyal guy, but I don't necessarily see a problem with somebody being like, yeah, you know what? I also root for the Chargers because they don't ever play the Lions.
Mm, I can't. But see, you were doing it on the logic standpoint. Like, okay, I'm rooting for the for Stafford to beat the Lions. Wait, no, did you say Stafford to beat the Lions? Okay, like
I said I was rooting for Stafford when he played the Lions, which
okay, then
ultimately means that I wanted him to be successful enough to beat them because I wanted them to have the highest draft pick possible last year.
but you're also speaking of the emotional attachment of former Detroit athletes going to different places to
Right. It
flourish
just happened to
in
be
their
like a
new primes.
perfect marriage in that moment.
Right. They're both on contending teams. They went there and won quickly. Like it just makes sense. So I'm not mad at that. But if you're just, oh, the Raiders are my team just
No.
because of those jerseys, like,
Yeah, no.
no, I'm looking down on that.
I'm with
That's
you on
not
that.
real. I can't rock
I,
with
I
that.
I guess I can support that, but I also would give leeway to somebody that says, I have my NFC team and that'll never change. It's the Detroit Lions. But there's this AFC team out here, the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Chargers, the Chiefs, whoever it may be. I got no problem with the second like supporting. They don't even play in the same time slot most of the time. So it's not like you can't fill your Sunday with both of your teams.
You could. I don't know. Listen, I want to see. I don't know. Max, tell me, Max. I mean, maybe he's a Steelers fan part time too. Maybe he has a Mason Rudolph jersey in his closet that I don't know about. I don't know.
we okay.
Tell me.
I'm we're gonna we
It's
might have
all
to
love, Max. It's
we
all
might have to
love.
run an octagon out here and be like, "Hey Max, come so you
So
and Eric can just throw down because apparently the comment section isn't good enough.
I'll
You just
pour
keep
you a
taking
glass,
shots at
Max.
him. You
I'll
called
pour
him a
you a glass.
Steelers
We'll talk
fan.
about it. Listen,
You called him a Steelers fan,
I'm
and
gonna
he's
wait till
talking
next
about the
week.
Lions in the first person, saying, "This is who we've got.
I gotta take some
We've
time to
got."
get over that Mason Rudolph comment. I'm sorry.
Maximilian is a Lions fan, not a Steelers fan, and I know
He's
I'm
a good
speaking
dude.
for him, but I'm just telling you, back off. We'll have to
Uh,
get that
I'll
octagon going.
chill. Okay.
Yeah, see, look at that.
What did he say? Okay, okay, then I rock with you, Max. We on the same path now, man. We good. We good, buddy, Max.
But he's also critiquing you and saying that, if you have 2 kids, you can only love one of them.
Yeah, I'm
So,
still hurt by that too. We gonna have to send the octagon for that. Yeah,
there you go. He's even
dude, we
telling
got to
us,
see
"Hey,
for that.
he's ready. He'll be home for the Washington game."
Okay,
So,
okay. I'll be around. I'll be around. We'll link up. We'll see what we can do, Max.
no, we do not promote violence on this show, just healthy disagreement and dialogue.
Of
That is
course.
what we
Family
are.
show. Family show.
Max, he's ready. Max, we love you and we appreciate you stopping by. I do want, we were talking about t-shirts, and I do want to remind everybody as well that there is a shop up on Detroit Sports Nation called gearupdetroit.shop that you can find some pretty swaggy shirts. Some of them are irrelevant because there's like a fire Avila one, which is already gone, but like you can get a grit shirt, you can get one that says we'll tread water until we bury you. I've got mine on the way. Go check it out. Make sure that you get one of those and represent your one and only team. Right, Eric?
One. And I'm gonna
One
take this
and
shot.
only
And I'm
team.
taking this shot for Alavila being gone. Go ahead.
We're mixing sports here. But anyway, we are Beyond the Box. We are live every Monday night on all social platforms. So don't forget Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Make sure you follow Detroit Sports Nation on Instagram, on TikTok. There's followings growing all over the place because if you want Detroit sports news, you want it from Detroit Sports Nation because we cover everything. So follow us, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are on, and we will be in there because if it happens in Detroit, we cover it. Guaranteed.
That's right.
Eric and I will see you next week on Beyond the Box after episode 2 of Hard Knocks. After the Lions' second preseason game, we will be back to talk about our one and only team, Eric. Okay? I'm not watching anybody else's preseason games. One and only
One.
team,
One
the Detroit
loyal to the
Lions.
soil. That's right.
This is Beyond the Box. I am AJ Riley. He is Eric Vincent, and we will see you next week.